Hey there, stampers and crafters, and welcome to our online class where today we are going to be making this gorgeous Oriental Screen Fold Card, which is surprisingly easy to make. We are also lighting it up blue today, and I will tell you a little bit about my annual fundraiser for Autism Speaks in just a minute. It is the 13th annual World Autism Day today, and just a special way to kick it off. So welcome aboard all who have jumped onto our class. And while you are jumping on board, I'll tell you a little bit about today's giveaway. I have two Happy Birthday to You stamp sets to give away today. One live and one on April 17th. All you need to do is leave a comment. And if you share this broadcast onto social media like YouTube or Facebook or Pinterest, I will enter you a second time into that prize drawing. So it is World Autism Day, and we are in unprecedented times. Our world as we know it has just been turned upside down, and it affects everything that we do. And many of you I know out there have been touched, your families are touched by special needs, by autism, and programs and services that you rely on have also come to a screeching halt, which is just, sometimes it's just plain scary, all the things that have just stopped, and we need these things. So I feel like now more than ever, this fundraiser is important for many reasons, but one is the organizations like Autism Speaks and others have been working really hard with technology to find new ways to reach out and help out. And so I really just feel like, even though I do this every year and the cause is very special to me, my designer, Veronica Zales, you guys know her work on my blog, and her son is autistic, Cameron. He is a beautiful, beautiful boy, and I love doing this just for them every year. And one of the reasons why I chose this particular stamp set, the Leave a Little Sparkle stamp set, and the colors, the bright colors, is because they love rainbows. And so I was thinking of them, I was thinking of Cameron, and I was like, I'm gonna do rainbows. And the unicorn is actually a sign of miracles. I was just actually saying this to Wendy. And so I just felt like it was really appropriate right now for this particular fundraiser. So I've created a kit. I call these kits with a cause. And so, and it's twofold, right? One, you've got some quarantine blues busting going on, so you can make some cards out of it, and some cool cards, and they're bright and cheery. Also, it is raising money for a great, great cause. So there's a little bit about the kit here, but you can also go to stampwithtami.com and you can get the full details there, and you can also order your kits there. And I'll show you the cards real quick because I love them, and I love the technique. So I've got a bunch of different techniques here with the Stampin' Write markers, but I also use the shimmery crystal effects, so I don't know how well you can see them on here, but you definitely don't see it as well in the pictures. But they're gorgeous, shimmery, fun, so fun. And these are all techniques done with the Stampin' Write markers. It comes with the Brights markers, the Brights cardstock, and the Brights designer paper. Even the ribbon was a technique. There's several techniques, marker techniques on this card. Lots of fun in this kit. And I also have multiple ways that you can participate. The first is, if you purchase the kit, I'm donating $10 from the sale of every kit to Autism Speaks. And the second is, if you make a purchase in my online store using this hostess code, you can find it here. You can also find it on stampwithtami.com under the specials tab. It's always there. But if you use this one from now till April 15th, I'm donating 10% of all the sales in my online store to Autism Speaks. And the last way is, if you just donate directly, if you click on that link and donate directly to my Autism Speaks campaign right through Autism Speaks, a minimum of $25, I'm going to send you the free tutorial for this class. So several different ways that you can participate. It's a great cause. It is a really important time. So it's all good. If you participate in any of those ways, I will enter you into a drawing to win. And this is my very last Stampin' Up! Logo toolkit case. They're beautiful, right? And they match the logo paper design, the grid paper that I use. And I love these cases. They're great for so many things. Anyways, I'll be drawing the winner for that on April 15th. So anybody that participates in the fundraiser will be eligible to win that. All right, so we are going to be making a curtain fold card today, also using the same stamp set that I designed this fundraiser kit around, just because I wanted to show different ways to use the stamp set, but also more ways to use the stamp set. And also, if you have this stamp set, you can swap it out for one of equal value if you want to purchase the kit. And so this is this is an Oriental Screen Fold Card, and you're going to be surprised at how easy this is to make. I got this idea actually from Tina Waddell, and she, you know, she's an artist. Her stuff is just over the top amazing, but she had made this Power of Hope card for a celebration swap that we had done. I showed it last week on one of my online classes, and everybody was just loving it. And I was like, you know what, we're going to make this card. We are going to make this. So I kind of, you know, did a few little different things on here, but I think you're going to like this. Fun and different, but look at how shiny and sparkly it is. Even the unicorn, I don't know if the light's going to pick that up, but even the unicorn, our symbol of miracles here, is also sparkly and shiny. Everything is just, you know, it's just fun. All right, so very important as we get started, free PDF, as always, you'll find on stampwithtami.com. You'll find this on the resource page, where I will also be posting the video for that we're creating right now. So once we're done creating this video, I will post it there, so you can always go back and find it there when you are creating the card, if you're doing it later. So I have QR code here. If you have a smartphone, you can zap that to get back to the resource page really easily, or same URL as the QR code was going to bring you. It's typed out there. If you don't have a smartphone, don't know how to use the QR code, it's all good. I try to make it easy for you. I have all of the cuts here and all of the scoring and all of the supplies that I'm using today. You can purchase these all in my online store. And again, if you use that hostess code, I'm donating 10% to the Autism Speaks between now and April 15th. All right, so let's get started. I think I am going to get started with our stamping today. So we're going to do a couple things. I use some vellum here for this one, so let's do that. That's our simple stamping. Again, taking this Leave a Little Sparkle stamp set, I used the Make Your Dreams Come True stamp out of that one. And the colors here are Pretty Peacock. It's actually all Pretty Peacock, and basic gray cardstock is our base here. So I'm taking some Pretty Peacock ink pad, and we are just going to stamp Make Your Dreams Come True right in the center of, I have two pieces of vellum, so it doesn't matter which one you use, and it doesn't matter which side you do it on, but I'm just going to stamp that right there, and we are just going to put that to the side, and then we are going to start working on our unicorn. Now, she or he, whichever unicorn you have, a boy or a girl, doesn't matter. That I am going to stamp in Versamark, and we're going to emboss it with the Shimmer White emboss powder. This may have been overlooked in the catalog. I know I overlooked it, and I was like, oh boy, this is fun. I don't know why I didn't pick this up before. And so what I did here is, and I put the cuts for the entire card here, and this panel right here is the front panel, the basic gray, and I have the cuts for it here, but I would recommend leaving it a little bit longer than the cuts and then cutting it down after you do your embossing, and I'll show you why. If you cut it first, and I'm using my Stamparatus for this because I found that was the easiest way to get everything to line up. It's the easiest way to do pretty much anything. If you cut it first, it's really tight. The words in the unicorn are really tight on here, and so the magnets actually would cover up part of where you need to stamp. So what I did was I just leave this longer, and then I'll cut it down after we do our stamping. So I'm just took the magnets that come with the Stamparatus, and I'm putting them, holding the top and the bottom down, and then I'm taking, these are two stamps here. It's the unicorn, the head of the unicorn, and the Believe. And then I'm going to take our Stamparatus pad. Oh my gosh, I'm just drawing a blank right now. The plate, and pick that up. This ends up being, I'm sorry, I'm out of screen here. This ends up being the like a block. This is our block. Okay, so I've inked that up with Versamark ink. The reason why is because we're going to be doing some embossing, and Versamark ink stays wet a little bit longer than our classic ink, and it's great for embossing on. And I don't know, I feel like I want to get a little bit, for some reason it looks a little bit light on her head here. Mine's a girl. It's all right if yours are boys, but mine's a girl. And that's another beautiful thing about the Stamparatus. If you didn't like how you stamp something, you can just keep restamping it until it comes out good. All right, so now I'm going to just remove that from the Stamparatus, and we'll just move that out of our way for now. And we are going to work on some embossing. So I've just got some scrap paper here because I'm not fancy. Nothing fancy here. And I'm taking, this is the Shimmer White Emboss Powder. Where do you see this? This is just so, so fun. And you know what? I love this because it's just sparkly and the whole card is just sparkly and shimmery and fun. And you know, I just forgot to do the if you forget you will regret step, and that was the Emboss Buddy, which I should have wiped first. Nobody stopped me. Oh, it's okay. So I am going to regret this because I'm going to have, I can already see there's a couple little pieces of embossed powder in the Believe here that they're going to be on there for good, but that's okay. You know what? It's good that I show the mistakes, so now you know why you want to use that Emboss Buddy. If I didn't show you, you wouldn't believe. Get it? Believe? Ba-dum-bump. Pun intended. All right, so now we're going to do some heat embossing. So I'm just going to move my silicone pad, and I have a little cutting board that I usually put down so I don't melt my table. You know, it's always a good idea to not melt your table. And then I'm going to heat this up with our heat tool. I don't know, do you guys want me to zoom in a little bit here so you can see a little bit closer? When this takes, and it just takes a minute for the heat tool to heat up, there it goes. Can you see it? It's so cool. There she goes. Boop. I flicked some of that powder off so hard on the bee. It's a little bit light, but that's okay. You can still see it. So now I'm going to cut this down. So we'll just take our paper trimmer and cut it down to the size, which was 3.5. It was 3.5. So, and it's tight. I mean, the words are really tight on here. I made it really tight, so you want to cut really just below the Believe, and then, so that's why I recommend leaving it a little bit longer, because otherwise, if you put the magnets on here, there's not enough room for the, you know, when you're doing the Stamparatus, it's just not enough room to stamp. All right, so our stamping is done. Have fun. All right. You think the glitter makes it take a little bit longer to melt? That could be true, but it also takes a little bit longer to melt when your heat tool isn't warmed up. All right, so next up, I'm just going to put these aside for now. We'll come back to those. We will make our fold. So I had done a poll with our, I was doing a finale for Celebration, and I had asked what your favorite videos were, and I got a lot of people saying they loved fun folds. They loved the classes that we did with the fun folds. So I thought, well, I think that means you guys want to see more fun folds. So I've got my Simply Scored tool out here, and I am going to score, and I do have the scoring here, right here on that free PDF. I always want to keep those handy so you have all the information you need. We're going to go at 2 3/4. It's all lined up right here. And then we're going to go at 5 1/2. And then we're going to go at 8 1/4. Love this. Love this thing. And then when you're done, boom, you've got the fold all ready to go. All right, so the next thing I want to do is actually create the bottom of the actual screen. You know, it's the screens you put in your room to divide it, or sometimes just for decoration. So to do that, I used the Everyday Label Punch, which actually is what I got that idea from Tina's card. That's what she used on her Power of Hope card. So this is the Everyday Label Punch, and make sure I'm going the right way. So I found you can do 2 at once, but you can't do more than 2 at once. And I wanted to line them up. So I started with the first 2. You want to make sure that, and I've just slid this into the punch. I've got it upside down, and I'm making sure that it's centered. So I can see right here, I want to make sure that it's as close as you can get to center. And then I'm just going to pop those out. And that's fun, right? It's fun to pop them out. And then, let's see. Next up, and because I wanted these all to line up, I kind of did the next 2 individually. Plus, you got to slide it in here because I just used the punch that we just did as a guide for the next 2. So I use that to line up this one, and then see what I did there? Just using that to line up my punch as a guide, so they're all in the exact same place. I mean, you don't have to do that. You could just cut them, you know, each in one half and then the other half if you wanted to, but I personally wanted them to line up, so that was one way to do it. Okay. Oh, stop it, Tina. She's like, this is the only fun fold I can do. I don't believe that. Girl, she doesn't give herself enough credit. All right, so that's it. That's our fold. Now, all we got to do is decorate. So we've done our stamping. So let's go ahead and decorate the panels first. And for those, I am using, and this is the, I'm going to bring it all in here. Bring it all in. It's Noble Peacock. So Noble Peacock has 2 different types of specialty foils. There is the specialty foils, which is plain foil like this. And then there is the actual specialty paper that has foil designs in it. And together, they're phenomenal, right? So cool. So you can get packs of this in my online store. This is the Noble Peacock foil sheets and the Noble Peacock designer series, specialty designer series paper. And so I chose the Pretty Peacock color because I wanted to go blue. I mean, I guess I could have done Blueberry Bushel too, because Blueberry Bushel would have made a good blue because it is lighted up blue. It is the theme. It is, you know, the World Autism Awareness Day, and I wanted to go blue. So either way, I think any of these colors would look fun on this card. And I just cut the panels. The sizes are on that free PDF. And then we're going to attach the specialty paper to the inside of that foil, like so. And now you need 4 of these, okay? 1 for each. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and attach those next. And I am using snake. You know what? I do not. Sometimes when you're doing foil, I don't know why copper foil does this too. It sticks with snail, but it will not stick to the back. You have to put it on the layer that you're attaching, which I don't normally like to do. I normally like to put it on the backing here, but since it's being a little ornery, we're going to do it that way. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for that, and I'm sure somebody out there knows it. All right. I know, Alice, right? These are so pretty. I love these foils. They're just fun. They're fun, and they're shiny, and they're beautiful colors, and they coordinate with each other. Okay, so we've got our 4 panels on. Now, I wanted to be able to write a note on the inside or stamp something on the inside, and that is why I added the vellum. So I just did 2 sheets of vellum, though, because it still looks cool with the vellum over it, but, I mean, look at that. I really wanted the sparkle and shine. So the front and back pieces, like the bookends, I left without vellum and just put 2 pieces of vellum on the inside so we can write our note and our greeting in there. And I am attaching those with mini glue dots to the corners of the vellum. And the reason why I'm doing it like this It's because it's vellum, and vellum is translucent, and it is see-through, and you can see adhesive through it. So I always tell people, put your adhesive in a spot where there's either a busy pattern and you're not going to see, or if you're going to cover it up, which is what we are going to do here. And we're going back to that one, Make Your Dreams Come True, that we stamped earlier on the vellum, and do the same exact thing there. Oh, Tina, I'm so glad you liked this card. I'm glad it made you proud. I loved your card. It was just absolutely beautiful. And it really, it inspired me. And I know a lot of people out there really loved it. So I thought, well, that's a perfect place to start making some more fun folds. Okay, so the next piece we're going to do is our front. I know I'm going to come back to covering those up in a second, but I'm going to do all the assembly first, and then we'll go back to that. So that does make it easier. So you can see the words, you can write a greeting, but you still have that fun back and front that has that shiny on it. All right, next up, more sparkly, more shiny. This is Sparkle. It's actually called Sparkle. Sparkle Glimmer Paper. It's like got the glitter in it. It's iridescent, and I love it because it's already got the glitter on it, so the glitter doesn't fall off everywhere. You know, you don't get glitter pieces, which, you know, nobody loves that. Everybody loves glitter, but nobody wants it to fall off. Although that's not true, because I find glitter is like a fashion accessory. You know, like if I work with it, you know, I end up with it on my face, and then I just feel like it's, you know, just, it's part of it. I'm a paper crafter. I love glitter on my face. So I'm going to retract that original statement. Oh, I didn't cut that down far enough. Did I tell you that was 3.5? Use the measurements on the free PDF. Oh, dropping things on the floor. Because I think the outside was 3.5. The inside is 3.25. It's going to be hard to cut. It's going to be hard to cut because I don't want to cut the unicorn's top of her horn off, but at the same time I put adhesive on here, so I got to do it upside down. All right, I think we can do it this way. Sorry, this was supposed to be 3.25, not 3.5. My bad. Oh, I'm going to go down a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I want to show some more of that sparkle. There we go. Wasn't a good cut, and maybe a hair on this side too. I don't know if it's not an exact measurement there. That's all right though. Sometimes you just got to go with it. No one's going to put a ruler to my card. So we've got, I didn't heat emboss that. Did you see that? I didn't heat emboss that one enough. Some of that believe just came right off. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. Make sure you use the Emboss Buddy so this does not happen to you. That's my PSA for today. All right. So we've got our front piece, and you can attach this either with Stampin' Dimensionals or with snail. I'm just going to use, no, you know what? I am going to use dimensionals. Either way, I did not put these on the supply list, but I didn't do it on my original, but let's do it on this one. Because we'll have it pop up just a little bit. And then that's going to go, and whoops, well, actually there, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go where I put it. Right? So she's off, but then when you open her up, boom, beautiful, right? And the final touch here is some Rhinestone Gems. Now, I did something a little fun with the rhinestones. So on the front and the back, I used the regular rhinestones, the regular clear rhinestones, because I felt like they matched right here with the glimmery emboss powder. However, on the inside, and you could keep going with these on the inside too, but I don't know. I was feeling spunky for the inside. I'm not going to put a piece of white on this. You can if you want to, Rita. But I put the vellum on there just for that reason. So you can see that stamp on there pretty good. You can see writing on there pretty good too. I am going to leave it like this and put my note on the vellum. That's why I use the vellum. But if you wanted to, you can totally put in there white instead. But if you do the white, I wouldn't bother with the specialty foil underneath it, because you won't see it. It would just be a waste. Okay, so remember I said I was feeling spunky? Here we go. Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. We do still carry these. They were in the holiday catalog, but they carried over. And this is, I believe it's Pool Party. But I did these, and this is what I'm using to cover up those glue dots. But I put these on the inside because the vellum kind of muted out some of that specialty paper for us. And I loved this. I thought it just blended in so nicely. But you could do the clear here too. Totally your personal style and preference. And voila, our card is done. You write on vellum with anything. You can write on it with Stamp and Write marker. You can write on it with a pen. You can write on with anything you write on normal paper. You can write on the vellum. It holds ink pretty well. So we have our screen. This is the Oriental Screen Fold Card. Super easy. The free PDF is on my blog, and as well as the information on the fundraiser. The card kits in the fundraiser have the same stamp set. You can get it in there, or you could sub it if you already have it. And it is a great time. It is not a great time, obviously, but I mean, it is a time when they are very much in need. So it is a great time to be a part of this fundraiser. Probably is where I was going with that. And excellent. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email at Tami at stampwithtami.com or visit my blog at stampwithtami.com. Thanks for joining me today.